Hello students, welcome to this video tutorial on the Cartesian coordinate plane. So this is an introductory lesson and it is essentially a note. So let's start with section A, parts of the Cartesian coordinate plane. A Cartesian grid is formed by two intersecting number lines. Intersecting number lines. Okay, and here we have the picture of it here. Two intersecting number lines. The x-axis is and that's this right here, the x-axis is the horizontal number line. Horizontal number line. While the y-axis is the vertical number line. Okay, so that's this one right here, the vertical number line. The x and y axis meet at a vertex right here, a vertex called the origin. Its location is written as 0, 0. That's its location on the Cartesian grid. The Cartesian coordinate plane is divided into 4 quadrants. Okay, essentially 4 sections. 4 quadrants. They are numbered from the upper right in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take those two paragraphs, that part of the note, and then we're going to see how it looks on this diagram. The diagram is called Parts of the Cartesian Coordinate Plane. Okay, so let's start with the first thing we were introduced to, and that is this right here. And that is the x-axis. Okay? All right. So, what was the next thing we were introduced to? Well, that is this number line right here, and that is the y-axis. Okay? Then this point here, very special point, is called the origin. Okay. All right. So before we name the quadrants, what we have to do is we have to label the points on the number line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size of my pen here. So if this is point 0, 0, and this is a horizontal number line, let's label each number. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now, when you're labeling, make sure you label right on the line. Okay, it's not a bar graph where we are labeling the space. We are labeling precisely the line. So going from 0, as we move to the right, just like an integer number line, our numbers are getting larger. And then as we move left from the origin, our numbers have to be getting smaller. So we're going to start with -1, -2, -3, -4, and hopefully yours looks a lot neater than mine. Okay, so let's label the y-axis now. As we move upwards from 0, our numbers increase on the positive side. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like this coordinate grid can fit up to +7. And then as we move downwards, our numbers are negative. Okay, all right. Now, let's label our quadrants. Now remember, the quadrants are numbered from the upper right. So that's this quadrant first. So this is quadrant 1. And they are numbered in counterclockwise order, which is this direction right here. So this would be quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. And this is quadrant 4. Okay, so there's our diagram of the Cartesian coordinate plane. Okay, so let's move on to the second part of our note, plotting points in 4 quadrants. Okay, an ordered pair is used to describe a point on the grid. So I have here an example of an ordered pair. The first number represents the x-coordinate. Okay, so this number here, in this case the 3, represents the x value or the x-coordinate. And it indicates the number of units right or left of the origin. The second number, -5, represents the y-coordinate. And it indicates the number of units up or down from the origin. Okay? All right. So let's look at some examples of questions that I'm going to ask you. Okay. So number 1, plot these ordered pairs on the Cartesian grid below and then join the vertices to form a shape. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to number the x and y axis. I want you to press pause. I'm going to press pause as well, and I'm going to fill it in. And then when you're done, press play again. Okay? All right, press pause now. All right, so hopefully you've numbered the x and y axes. Remember, when you're numbering the axes, you have to make sure that the number appears right on the line. The number should not appear in the space or in the box between the lines. Okay, so I'm just going to change color so that it kind of stands out a little bit more. All right, so let's look at the first point. Point A, -2, 1. Now remember, this is an ordered pair. The first number represents the x value. So what we're going to do is we're going to travel left and right on the x-axis. So -2 means we go to -2. We'll go in the left direction 2 spots. Then we look at the y value, and because it's positive, that means we're going to go up. If it were negative, we're going to go down. So we go left 2 and then up 1. Okay, so I want you to place a fairly large dot there. And then what I want you to get in the habit of is labeling the ordered pair, which is point A, and then writing in the ordered pair, which is 2, 1. Okay? All right, so that's the first point. I'm going to switch colors again. Let's go to the second point, B, 1, 5. So because 1 is a positive, that means we move to the right on the x-axis. And because 5 is a positive, we move up 5 on the y-axis. So that would mean a point right there. So draw a pretty large dot. And then like we did with the first line, could you label it and write the ordered pair? So it is point B, and the ordered pair is 1, 5. Okay? All right, so let's go to the last point, point C, which is 4, -3. So 4 is positive, so we moved in the right direction. -3, -3 is downwards. So we move downwards along the y-axis. 4, -3. And please label that point. It is called point C, and its ordered pair is 4, -3. So you see the importance of keeping everything neat here, because for this one we only have 3 points to graph. So it's fairly easy to keep things there because they're spread out. But when we have a lot of points, you have to be very precise and very neat. Okay, so the last thing is, hopefully with a ruler, I won't be able to use a ruler, but what the instructions asked you is to connect these vertices to form a shape. And because there are only 3 points, when we go to connect all the points, it should look like a triangle. Okay? All right, so that's all it is for plotting points on the Cartesian grid. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a puzzle for you here, a little bit of a challenge, okay, and that's question 2. So it says, draw a 2D shape on the Cartesian grid below. Your shape must include the following. So I've given you 3 of the vertices here. Point E, point F, and point G. So the first thing you should do is you should plot these points after you number your X and Y coordinates. Then, we're not finished yet. It's not really a triangle. Here's the next part. Question B, or part B. 2 vertices that are the same distance from the x-axis, but on different sides of the x-axis. So let me explain what that means. So if I pick a random point right here, which I'm going to erase in a minute, it is 2 spaces away from the x-axis. Now if I place another point down here, this point is also 2 spaces away from the x-axis, and they are on opposite sides or different sides of the x-axis. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense for you. See, 2 vertices that are the same distance from the y-axis, but on different sides of the y-axis. So again, you could incorporate the points E, F, and G that you've already kind of mapped out. Label each vertex with its ordered pair and its letter. So if you add any more points, you can call the points H and then I and then J. Okay? And then down here, I want you to show Mr. Ueda your completed shape when it's done. All right, good luck. Make sure it's neat. First thing you have to do is you have to number your X and Y axes like we've done before. Okay, so I'm just going to start here and then you know what to do. Okay, well thanks for watching this video tutorial. Please bring up your completed work when you're done. Thanks for watching. Bye.